I'm Linda. Glad you could join me. Today I'm going to be doing a fairly simple painting. A sunset on an ocean, very few colors. This is what I'm going to guide myself with, this photograph here, with the blue and the pretty oranges and the yellows into the orange and down in. Very simple. Shouldn't take me that long today. So I hope you can follow along and learn, and maybe someday you can put your brush to the canvas too. So let's get started. So here are the paints I used. Acrylic black for the base on the canvas, acrylic cerulean blue hue, acrylic white, and the oils liquid clear, titanium white, black, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, orange, and red. And I've prepared my canvas with acrylic black all over, and I've allowed to let it dry. Just do it all over that canvas. Now I'm taking acrylic cerulean blue with a touch of white, and I'm putting it on the top part of that canvas there. I'm going to start my sky, just brushing back and forth, adding a little more white, a little more blue, just creating a really pretty sky up there. And this will dry pretty fast, so you want to make sure you blend it fairly quick. And I'm just making my sky rather plain for right now. I'll be adding some clouds later on, but I just want to get that blue onto the canvas before I add my reds and yellows and alizarin crimson, because the blue will turn green. That's why I'm using acrylic right now. So I'm adding a little white. I'm not going to go all the way down, but I'm just blending it in a little. So yes, I did go all the way part down there. I'm doing some blue and a little white in the where I'm going to have water. Just little streaks down there, little areas where the water, blue water, will show through. Go all the way down to the bottom of the canvas. Working that in, making it as smooth as you can. So now I'm putting in a little bit of the white and the blue. There you go, it's below center line there. Just creating some waves that will be there. It's actually a pretty simple painting. It's just a matter of putting the blues in here where the water, parts of the water are going to show. Putting a little black in there, making it kind of dark. Acrylic. This is all acrylic right now. Just putting the groundwork in for some colors. Now I've added a little bit of acrylic white, and that's below the halfway mark. I'm going to have a faraway mountain back there, or hill. Same with on the left. Just an indication of a faraway mountain. Just blending that in the black, just getting an outline there. You don't have to be really fussy. And I'm putting in some white waves or water lines. Those will all turn a real pretty yellow and orange. But I'm just putting the groundwork down now for the water lines in white acrylic. Keeping my lines fairly straight there. Right there is where my sun's going to be. Right between those hills. Put a real light area right underneath that. Working my way downward. Putting in some fine lines in there. And putting it down at the bottom of the canvas too. About halfway, in the middle there. Making that a little lighter. That's going to be a pretty light orange down there. Okay, so now I've let it dry completely. And I'm putting on a thin coat of liquid clear. All over. In the middle there, we're going to be adding some alizarin crimson. But first we've got to put the liquid clear down so the paint goes on nice and smooth. Just working it in. Making sure it's dry underneath there. And then I'll probably take a shop towel and just gently wipe a little of that excess oil off. Because you don't want a whole lot, otherwise your paint tends to run, and we don't want that. So now I'm taking straight alizarin crimson on a 1-inch. Loading it up pretty good. And I'm just going to put it in that black area there, straight across, underneath that blue. Just keep it on the black and above there a little bit. I'll have some oranges up there. But once we put our yellow on this, it's going to turn a beautiful orange. So just work that in. And down onto the white, onto your little wave lines there where we put the white. Put the crimson on that too, because they're going to turn a real pretty yellow from the reflection of the sun we'll be putting in there. Just work it in. All the way down where we put the white. And put some on the mountain there, on the hillside too. So now I'm going into some cad yellow. Right there, I'm going to put in a little bit of sunshine there. The sun is going to go right there. Actually, it's on a 1 inch. It's just back and forth there. And then just keep moving upward. You're going to touch into that alizarin crimson and it's going to turn a beautiful orangish red. Make sure you brush your brush clean before you load again. And just work upward, tapping your brush on some paper towel. Reload. Just go back and forth. I'm using a fan brush. I'm putting a little extra alizarin crimson on the top there. A little more. I'm going back into my 1 inch there, tap it and in the cad yellow and go over the top of that. Yeah, you'll know if you have enough alizarin crimson down. If you can't, if it doesn't pick up, go ahead and take a clean brush and put some more on there. Adding more yellow. Tapping the brush every time. Get a nice bright, beautiful sky there. And just keep working the yellow in. Back and forth. And take a clean dry brush and gently brush across, blending those colors together. Just a very light brush. Now I'm adding a little bit of orange on the top, straight orange. Gives a nice variation of oranges. And brushing some orange streaks across the darker areas you can fill in. I'm picking up a little bit of red there on my brush. Kind of going along that sun. I'm not really going over the top of that too much though. Now I'm doing straight cad yellow on a fan brush. I'm going to put in some nice highlight there from the sun. Brushing across gently. And putting a nice yellow line on top of that sunset. And adding some more just over the top a little bit. I'll be shaping that sun a little bit here. Want to make sure I have enough yellow there. Now with a fan brush, clean fan brush with some cad yellow, little circular motions in there where to brighten that sun area up, and I'm using my finger to shape it. And a little bit of yellow. I don't want to cover the sun up too much. Just probably like halfway there. Adding a little more yellow in there. That crimson will pick up and you'll be getting that beautiful orangish color. Just blending the sun a little bit with the corner of my brush. Shaping that sun just the way I want it. Now I'm taking some straight yellow. I'm going to come down into those red waves you see there. And those will turn a beautiful orangish yellow. And after a while we'll go back over those and highlight with some yellows and a little white to bring them, to highlight them more. But for now we're just going to do some yellow over the top of those waves. And the back line there, I want to keep that as bright as I can with some yellow. Just bringing out those waves a little bit. But the edges of the canvas are going to stay fairly dark, because I want to keep the brightness totally in the center of the canvas here. Adding yellows wherever you want there to create more little movement in the water, waves in the distance. Just working forward, touching those crimson areas there with yellow. Just working downward there. It's going to be a brighter area there where the red is, but we'll get there. Just kind of zigzagging, creating little water lines. And putting some down toward the front a little more. And add a little touch of orange in there if you want. But I'm basically working with cad yellow. Just scrub that in there. Just slowly making my way to the bottom corner, leaving a lot of that blue exposed. Adding some more yellow. That's the beauty of using acrylic blue, then you don't have to worry about it turning green. Just adding here and there brighter yellows, brighten that center part up. Add a little touch of white to my yellow. Accentuate some of those waves better. Highlight them. I'm taking a little tiny bit of phthalo blue and white, being careful not to touch any of that orange. And I'm going to lighten up some of that blue just a little bit. Just ever so. Just to put a little extra little color in there. Leaving the back horizon line fairly dark. It's lighter in the front. Trying to match the sky up there. Reflections in the sky. In the water. I'm putting a little black in the way in the distance. Keep that horizon line fairly dark. So now I'm taking my fan brush with a little bit of white and phthalo blue, very pale. I'm going to create some little clouds up there. Using the corner of my brush, just gently working some of that white in there. Little cloud movement. And you can put in as many as you want. But it makes for a real pretty sky to highlight some of those clouds. Extra little clouds way on top, just a few here and there. And I soften them with my finger. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to put in a few little birds. I use straight black oil, making the wings. Takes a pretty steady hand there. I usually don't do birds, but they come out pretty nice. Make a little V shape, add a little body. and a good liner brush. It's got a nice point on it. So this one I'm doing is fairly close, and then the next few I'm going to do a little farther away in the distance, so they'll be smaller. Takes a little practice, but little M shapes. Looks like they're flying off far away. And you can put as many as you want. I think I'm not going to overdo. Just put maybe a couple, 3 more, way far in the distance. I almost see a finished painting here. Well, I've really loved doing this one. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you'd like to see more of these, click on the like button, follow me, and share if you'd like. So until next time, God bless and happy painting.